Today I want to talk about the new Twitter header. There's some pros, there's some cons about the Twitter header. It may be for you, it may not, but I kind of want to go over what some of the differences are for those of you who have Twitter accounts. And the biggest one, this is the old design right here on my Twitter page, and you can see that it's all left aligned. Used to, when we had to design the Twitter background, we had to take into consideration the fact that this is always going to be on the left-hand side. So depending upon the screen size of the person who is viewing your Twitter page, we could put in a right column here. We could put in possibly 2 or 3 right columns depending upon the screen size. Well, with the new layout, everything is centered, which is very nice. It helps us to design the background in a much more simplified fashion. The nice thing about the new header, which I'm going to show you how to add, is that it is mobile friendly, and it's actually mobile required. If you don't put in a header, they will put in a default header for you if somebody is viewing your Twitter page on a mobile device. So you need to click on the little settings button here. Click on your settings, and if you go to design over here to the left, and this is where you add your profile picture, but this is now has this is where you add your background. It's now a place where you add your header as well. And you can see this little gray box here. That's what's going to automatically be added to your Twitter page for those of you who, are viewing your Twitter page on a mobile device. If they're viewing it on the computer, they'll still see the old settings if you do not add a header in. So I'm going to go in here and change the header. And the original header that I added, I selected the blue background that matched my blue Twitter background with my website here at the bottom in the purple that we use. And the dimensions for your header, a good dimension would be 1200 pixels by 600 pixels, just to keep that in mind. You can adjust it once you get in here, make it bigger, smaller, but if you can make a 1200 pixel by 600 pixel, that is the perfect size for your header. So I'm going to click Save here, and it's going to upload my image, and then we can view what the new header is going to look like. Now, one of the downfalls, the cons, is that Twitter automatically adds what we call a gradient, which means it goes from a light to a dark. So my original one did not have this dark of a blue on the background. For some of you, that may not matter. For crazy people who are obsessive compulsive like myself, this no longer matches because now this blue is a much darker blue than my background. So that is one of the cons, is that you cannot control the gradient. It will automatically be added. But you can see everything here is centered, your picture, your information. This is part of the background that I added because I wanted my website to be advertised. But I'm not really happy with this blue. So I can go back in and I can change that out to something that I may like a little bit more. So the second time around, if I can get it pulled up here, the second time around I used the purple with a white text. And again, you can adjust it, save it, and we'll view it here. And I like this a little bit better. While you can tell it still goes from light to dark, it's not as contrasting for me. I don't like that it still shows up a little bit darker here when that was originally white text, but I can forgo that. I can let that go and still sleep at night. So this is, if you do not add a header, everybody will still see your old profile view like this. This is how they will see it if you add the header. And if you do not add a header, it will do a default gray for people who are viewing it on their mobile devices. So I think that's all the updates for today. If you have any questions, just let me know. Again, this is 1200 pixels by 600 pixels wide. You can get creative with it. I've seen some fun header images with people putting a profile picture of just their face with some things coming out and all sorts of unique fun stuff. But just let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching, guys.